Hey guys, so I decided to download the Star Wars Battlefront 3 beta and I've been having a great deal of fun. Basically, I'm just going to skip to the chase. I was having a fair bit of fun. I was sniping on top of this cliff, as you can see on the screen. There's my mate, Renegade Nemo, just having a good old time, blasting people, sniping. But you can see over there that big spherical thing, that turret-looking thing. It was sort of like a bit of a turret-looking thing or some sort of radar. After a while of, sitting on top of this one cliff, I kept sort of looking over there and noticing that there's another mountain over there. I've sort of had a bit of a look at the kill boundaries in this game, and they're similar to Battlefield 3. I decided, you know what, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to see how high I can get up that cliff, because that would be cool to be sniping from that section of mountain, because I've been sniping from here for a while, and, there's a few enemies around. There's Luke. Hey, Luke, how's it going? And yeah, basically decided I want to mix things up a little bit. I'm going to try shooting at people from over there. So to get on top of that area, right near that weird dome-looking spherical sort of radar thing, you can basically just pick any sort of section of cliff that you think looks right, and then using your booster pack / jetpack sort of thing, you can just sort of have a bit of a look around and, try getting up there. Just look for any patches you think you could jetpack up to. As you can see, I just made it up there. This is pretty cool. So I'm right next to that sort of spherical thing, and you can snipe from up here, and people don't really look up here very often. I'm not trying to be getting cheap kills or anything. This is just the beta. I was just testing different things. I like sort of testing areas of different games and trying to see where you can go and where you can't go. And this is certainly an area you can go at the moment, and it's pretty cool. You've got quite a nice view of the battlefield. In fact, quite a spectacular view of the battlefield. You can see Darth over there just chilling, running around the battlefield. You've got the AT-80s storming in. This is, of course, the Battle of Hoth. Anyway, it's a pretty cool little area you can get up to, and it's got a really nice view and everything, but I thought, you know what? I wonder if the cliff behind me, you can climb that too. Once again, I decided to try and navigate my way up the cliff by using the same technique I used before, which was really, really simple. All it is just looking for a place that you think that you could stand and aiming for that with your jetpack and jumping around, seeing what areas of rock and cliff are climbable and what you can, jump up yourself, and where you sort of just have to wait with your jetpack to try and get up to the next point when your jetpack recharges. So as you can see, that's where that sort of radar thing is, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool looking view. I decided that, I'll keep trying and see if I can get all the way up the top. Once again, you can see that I'm just waiting for my jetpack to recharge. So I'm quite high up at this point, and I'm fairly confident because there's my mate down there. It really does help to have your partner, like a partner playing the game, and basically if you die or whatever, then you can spawn in on them, and if they've spawned in on you, then they're going to be up in some high spot like where I am at the moment. Missed with the jetpack there, but don't be put off. It does take a few attempts. You got to have a bit of a look around and try and work out what rock to climb up onto. Just having a bit of a look around here with my sniper now, trying to pick off someone with my sniper. There you go, get a bit of a lucky shot there, but quite nice being able to snipe from these high positions. Definitely you don't think he would have had any idea of where I am. So there you go, you can see that I made it all the way up to the top. This is the very top of that mountain. That is the highest you can go. This is the first time I was up here, so I was just having a bit of a look around. But look at that view, that is pretty spectacular. You've got the AT-80 in the left there. That's just a background sort of element that I don't think that you can kill. I'm pretty sure that's nothing you have to worry about, but it's pretty cool. You've got an absolutely spectacular view of the area. You've got, spaceships or whatever, the TIE fighters, and you've got the X-Wings and everything flying by literally parallel to the position that you are on top of the mountain, and you can absolutely snipe people from here. I'm not sure if there are any sort of limitations to range or anything, but when I was playing, there was absolutely none. I mean, I could shoot at people with my machine blaster gun, whatever it is that I'm wielding now, and I could kill people, I could hit people, like you can see there. And yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that you can shoot that far, but this is a beta, and these sort of things need to be fixed and found or whatever, but very, very cool view nevertheless. So after all this, I thought, you know what, this is pretty awesome. Pretty cool that you can come all the way up here. People don't even really realize that you're up there. After a while, there were some people sniping at us, but you've got so much cover, and there's so many different places you can poke your head out and aim for people. So, I mean, it is a little bit cheap, but it was just an area that I really wanted to explore. So anyway, had a bit of fun here, but decided, you know what, this is cool, but what would be cool is if I could get my AT-ST anywhere near this cliff. And so that's what I went and tried doing next. So I waited for a new game and tried going for the ATST right at the beginning. I was lucky enough to get in one of those. Basically, lots of people, because this is obviously new and everything, people are just trying to get in all the vehicles and try all the cool stuff out. And anyway, managed to get into the ATST, was looking around at different cliffs trying to work out whether I'd be able to get up any of them. And ATST, if you haven't been in it already, basically it really doesn't like going up any sort of slopes, and it really doesn't like trying to climb over some rocks, as well as if you get close to a ledge, most of the time it doesn't want to fall down or try going over that. So it's quite locked into place. It's quite hard to get around to different areas. But after initially trying to get up some cliffs, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to try taking the scenic route and just go all the way around and flank the opposition, see how far I can follow the boundary around the outside of the map and see how far I can get with the ATST. Eventually, I managed to get my ATST all the way around the sort of right-hand side of the map. That is if you're on the Empire's team, of course. And this is all the way like out as far as you can go, basically as far behind as you can go as if you're on the Rebel team. And I saw the Hoth shield generators there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm in an ATST, I wonder if actually shooting the shield generators does anything. Of course, it doesn't do anything, but I was just shooting it just to have a bit of fun and play around. But yeah, that was quite good. Managed to get it all the way around the side and was just having a bit of fun here. Unfortunately, it was sort of around this moment that an X-Wing leaving the sort of spawn area for the X-Wing, so that it spotted this sort of stray ATST hanging around this weird sort of position on the map, and it did actually manage to blow me up, which was quite depressing because I did at the last minute, as you can see here, oh, here comes the X-Wing, and it spotted me, and I didn't last much longer after this, but I did see sort of to my left that there was quite a smooth area of snow that I thought that I might be able to, there we go, absolutely destroyed, but I saw that there was quite a smooth area of snow that I may be able to climb up if I got in an ATST again. So sure enough, I managed to get in another ATST, and I'll just speed right through to that point. After another long set of walking in another ATST, I managed to sort of hug the cliff a little bit more, and as you can see, I'm sort of near a big sort of cutout area which leads, well, it doesn't lead anywhere actually, that's just a hangar that's completely closed up. But it is right next to that hangar, and I keep following the mountainous side all the way around to the left, and it does get a bit smoother. There is a bit of snow there, but there is a bit of a kill boundary. I managed to climb up in that kill boundary and then return to combat, but of course I was up on the cliff. And this is how you do get up on top of the cliff. I'm not sure if you can sort of break around to the right here a little bit more and get higher up above the dome even, but this is sort of where I went. I had a bit of a play around, tried looking around, but I'm sure there is a little bit more exploring you can do. But sure enough, I managed to get the ATST up on this mountainside, and I did end up having quite a bit of fun with it. I have to say, using the ATST up from on top of this cliff is quite an effective way of getting some kills. People don't expect that, you know, someone would be sniping up on this cliff, let alone having an ATST up there. It would have been absolutely hilarious to see the angle of the ATST up near this radar thing from someone else's perspective, but I certainly had a lot of fun. I was just raining down mortars and rockets and all the main sort of cannons of the ATST on the opposition, on all the rebel scum, I should say, and it was quite a lot of fun. You can certainly rack up kills doing this, and you can get it up here if you use a method that I just sort of showed. You just keep going along the side of the cliff, and eventually you'll get to where I'm standing here with the ATST, and it's got quite a nice view as well. Of course, you're in a vehicle, so slightly higher up, and you've got a nice bird's eye view of the entire sort of battlefield, and you can follow the ATs around and just keep shooting guys. So the battle raged on. Eventually some players started targeting using the turrets and started trying to take me out. You know, they started noticing that there was an ATST dancing around on the cliff, but it was sort of too little too late. Unfortunately, my team did end up losing this, but you know, I survived with the ATST up on this cliff for quite a while, and it was good fun, but probably not in the spirit of the game. And once again, this is obviously just a beta, so hopefully all this will be patched in the full release, but I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, so it was pretty cool having quite a bit of fun with the ATST up on this cliff. Now, the very last thing that I wanted to try was, you see these AT-ATs running parallel to this cliff. I wonder if you can jetpack on top of that. You can't not put an AT-AT in a game in this setup and not try and get on top of it if you've got a jetpack in the game. There you go. Tried getting on top of the AT-AT. hit the side there, and I have no idea why, but I died to it, so whoever was in the AT-80 at the time managed to get a free point off of that. Then tried getting up at it again, fell down off the cliff straight away, tried shooting this bloke, and hopefully just waited to get killed as soon as possible so I could spawn in on my friend who was up on the cliff parallel to the AT-80. I hadn't given up hope yet, and once again, want to go for the AT-80 here, trying to jetpack on. There you go, managed to get on successfully. I was a little bit timid, didn't really want to get on the neck or the head of the AT-80, and my friend also tried jetpacking over and tried getting on top. I'm not sure whether he managed to get on top as well or he ended up dying and then spawned on top of me, but he managed to get on there, so I was able to spawn on top of him, and it was absolutely hectic. I don't know what it was, but everybody on the opposition team knew that we were on top of the AT-80 and they were all firing at us. And it was absolutely crazy. It was so cool though, managing to get on top of the AT-80. Definitely a cool place to try and snipe from, but quite obvious, and you definitely get picked off really quickly. But don't try getting on top of the head or neck. I'm not sure if you can get on the neck, but you definitely die if you get on the head. My friend definitely tested that when he was here with me, but that was absolutely awesome fun. Definitely something that you should try and do before the beta closes, because this is just way too cool. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I think I'm going to go back and start playing again. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. This beta, I'm pretty sure, lasts until the 12th of October, and that's probably North American time when it finishes. So I wish you all the best. You know, feel free to try out any of these spots and just have a bit of, you know, play around and explore the area a little bit. I'm sure a lot of this sort of stuff will get patched when the full release comes out. But yeah, I found it quite enjoyable. I found the Battlefront beta quite enjoyable. There's definitely a few things that need to be balanced, which I could talk about in a future video if you guys really want. But until then, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next video.